Jesus does not begin the gospel passage that we have today saying, I'm greater than Jonah, I'm greater than Solomon. But that really is his point. I'm greater than Jonah, I'm greater than Solomon. St. Paul says the covenant that Jesus established is greater than the old covenant. And the wisdom of Solomon, which is contained for us in several books of the Old Testament, including the Proverbs and some of the Psalms, the wisdom of Solomon resonates with our soul. The wisdom of Solomon, if our heart and mind, made in the image and likeness of God, as I've said a million times, if our heart and mind are open to the truth of God, then the truth of God will resonate in our soul. It will make sense to us. We will think, aha, there is this reality, there is the truth of reality. And Jesus is the way and the truth and the life. And so the Queen of the South was like, I've heard about the wisdom of Solomon. Let me go see. And she sought and she traveled and she sacrificed and she went and she experienced the wisdom of Solomon and she was moved by it. She was changed by it. Jonah was sent to the people of Nineveh, a pagan people, a people turned against God, if you will. And they heard the preaching of Jonah, and they recognized there's truth here, there's beauty here, and they repented. And Jesus is saying, the wisdom of Solomon was something good. And the preaching of Jonah was powerful, but I'm wiser than Solomon, and my preaching is better than Jonah, and you people don't listen to me. Now, he wasn't saying that to you. He was saying that to those folks back then. But the wisdom of Jesus, and you're all here, I know. The wisdom of Jesus, it is supposed to resonate with our soul. We must hunger and thirst for truth. Even if that hunger and thirst for truth calls us to deny our flesh. Even if the hunger and thirst for truth calls us to fast, even if that hunger and thirst for truth calls us into a life of sacrifice, even if the hunger for truth calls us to be rejected by the culture in which we live, right? Jesus is telling the people there that the Queen of the South will rise up, and she'll know what she heard from Solomon, and she'll know what I said, and she will say, God, you people missed the boat. And the same thing with the people of Nineveh. So today, what is our challenge? Today, our challenge is to have this hunger and thirst for the truth. The hunger and thirst for the wisdom of the church, the hunger and thirst for the wisdom of the gospel, the hunger and thirst for the wisdom of St. Paul's letter to the Galatians and all of the beautiful things that St. Paul teaches us. So today we ask God for that, for the Beatitudes, right? Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. Because if we have a hunger and thirst for the truth, it is going to resonate with our soul. And as wise as Solomon was, Jesus is wiser. And as great as the preaching of Jonah was, Jesus' preaching is better.